hails from a leading Lucha Libre family, fighting out of Tijuana by the way of San Diego and Baja California. Translated into English, he is the son of the King of Mystery. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome El Hijo de Rey Misterio.
I have fun. Thank you. It's a pleasure being here. So, thank you guys for the space. So it's a pleasure being here.
It's getting loud in here. All right, let's get to some fun stuff. First of all, thank you for joining us. This is My Lucha TV. And let's start at the beginning. At age 13, you began training. That was 2001?
Yeah, I've always been involved in the business. Like I said, I grew up in this. This is my life. It runs through my blood. And but I seriously, actually started training without missing, going on pro when I was 13.
13?
Yes, exactly.
Wow. Okay, let's talk about your current projects. Your sponsors, TV, radio appearances. We know you're big in Tijuana, and we know you're big up here. What have we got lately going on for you? Got any projects going lately?
Yeah, I was training in FMLL, Arena Mexico, one of the best wrestling schools in Mexico, in the whole Mexico City. But I felt like it wasn't actually my spot to be with. It didn't blend in with my style. You didn't have enough freedom, to do what you wanted to do. So I started working with Perros del Mal, which is Damon is there, Halloween, Perro Aguayo Jr. is there. Correct. So I started a feud with Perro Aguayo, I believe it was a month ago. It was my debut on his company named Perros del Mal down in Mexico City, and I believe I'm going back next month to settle the feud up. So that's what I've coming. I've been working a lot down in Chicago, New York, everywhere.
What's it like working in Chicago?
Cold, really cold. It's cold, not to what I'm used to down here in San Diego or Tijuana,
Correct.
So it's but it's cool, it's cool because you see a lot of people that follow you. You think, sometimes I believe, I'm not, since I don't come out too much in television, sometimes I think people don't really know me, but I've been amazed because every time I show up, there's people with my pictures, correct, with magazines, with my photos, so it's cool, man. It's kind of cool that people recognize your work and know who you are in this business. So it's pretty cool.
Right, wonderful. All right, you made your pro wrestling debut in 2006, and a couple matches we kind of were interested in with SoCal Talent. Well, you were in an 8-man tag with Piloto Suicida. Do you remember that match? Yeah. And actually, his nephew is wrestling, Mercurio Jr. Have you heard of Mercurio Jr.?
Yeah, I know them. I know them way back. I grew up watching Piloto. And I know Mercurio since he was a little kid. He's still a youngster. Yeah, he is. But I met him, so he's a pretty cool kid. He has everything to make it on his business. It's just it's on him now to make it.
Good. We have 2 cage matches with Angel Blanco Jr. What's a lucha cage match like?
It's difficult. It's difficult because it's every man by himself. You've got to be watching your back every single time. Because the first. If you fall asleep during the match, man, that could be you. That's your head. So it's every man for himself.
Now this man standing next to me, of course, 3 mask versus mask matches in 2007, and he is 3-0 against Inferno, Black Panther, and Kendo Jr. Exactly, yeah. Which one of those matches kind of stands out to you?
All of them were different techniques. I could say that one that stood out the most was Black Panther. Since he's a more experienced guy out of all of the 3 matches, he was the most experienced. I was the youngster back then. I remember as soon as we started the match, he had me. I could say that he was the one that was controlling the match. Until I just woke up, it just kicked in. I made a switch and I made the comeback, and thanks to the move I made, with the Spanish Fly, I got him to get knocked out. And I got the 3 pinfalls, so it was pretty cool.
Well, 3-0 in mask versus mask is a great record. Let's get a status on Metallica and Super Astro. I believe you know those names.
Yeah, well, Super Astro's my uncle. Okay. He's not really blood related, but we're politically, if he's politically family. He's helped me a lot. We still keep in touch with each other. I've worked with him a lot also as partners. And, he always gives me advice. I always learn from him too. And, You know, he's a pretty cool guy. You know, to be a legend and the man that he is. You know, giving a youngster like me, you know, teaching me all the do's and not do's. So it's pretty cool.
You seem like you got a lot of fire going on. So we ran and we checked your MySpace. It says you're in a relationship. Any comments on that?
Well, no. I have a daughter. I do have a daughter. She's a year, 1 year and 3 months old. I don't. Thank you. I don't live with her mom, but yeah, I do have a daughter. And well, about Metallica, I can say that she's a cousin of mine. Okay. She's a cousin. She started working, I believe, in the early '90s. Right now, I believe she had a daughter, so she stayed out of the business for a while. And well, I guess those are the only two relatives besides Rey Misterio Jr. that I have in this business.
All right. Hobbies: soccer, golf, travel, video games. What do you like to do when you unwind?
Oh man, when it's my how I say, you know, my kicking back time. I like to stay at home. You know, stay at home. Get to go play with my daughter. I don't really see her that much because I'm always on the road. So whenever I have a chance, I go see my daughter. And
what was your daughter's name?
Camila. Camila, that's my daughter. And you know, it's, you know, I always try to be with the family, you know, because whenever on the good and the bad times, the only thing we have is family, right? So I agree. So I always try to be, you know, like a family man, you know. Yeah, there's always time to go party, go with the friends. You know, I still keep in touch with my friends from high school. Oh, good. So, you know.
You're just a kid at heart then, aren't you?
Exactly, yeah. So it's, you know, I try to, there's time for everything, you know, for friends, family, but I try to be most with my family.
Well, you seem like a really well-rounded superstar. If you'd take a moment to go ahead and give us a cheap plug, because we're a very small show, and this is actually our first interview. Our American side's doing pretty well. Got about 10,000 hits a show, but I wanted to see what the Lucha side of things had to offer. So if you could just look at the camera and say, this is El Hijo de Rey Misterio, and you're watching my Lucha TV.
This is El Hijo de Rey Misterio, and you're watching Lucha TV.